Hi, and welcome to this week's edition of the Journal. I'm Hailey Dunn.
And I'm Boswell. This week on the Journal, we'll be taking a look at a wide range of interesting stories, from bodybuilding to zombie attacks. We'll take a look into the quality of Canadian stories, as well as explore the music world through the eyes of a club promoter. Later on in the show, we'll have a live performance by Trevor Koroll.
So sit back, relax, and enjoy the Journal.
Welcome back. We begin this week with a strong story from Ajuki that takes a powerful look into the life of a bodybuilder.
His name is Stephen Olema, and just by looking at him, you can probably guess what he does for a living.
I'm a bodybuilder and a professional personal trainer. Eastern Ontario champion, 2005, 6th ranked middleweight in the country. That's who I am, and that's what I do.
Stephen's dreams of sculpting that perfect body came at an early age.
I've been bodybuilding for a good 19 to 20 years almost. It's something that I feel I was destined to do. I think it was a picture of a bodybuilder by the name of Mohammed Makaway. I don't think Mohammed had any clue what kind of effect he was having on a little kid in Africa.
Although he's been training for a long time, it's only in the past year that he decided to compete professionally.
I've entered 4 bodybuilding shows, but I am the only other second guy in Canada to have gone from level 1 all the way to the nationals in 1 year. But you can do all the dieting and the eating and the training all you want, but come showtime, if because you only have a minute to display your physique, and if you don't put your game together, your posing together, all that hard work goes down the drain. So
Stephen talks about what sets him apart from other bodybuilders.
I know for me, being in the refugee camps and being able to go hungry without food for a couple of days, that kind of stuff motivates me. If you can do it when you're a kid, start for 3 days without food, how are you going to complain about self-inflicted ordeal that you're putting on yourself in terms of preparing for show and dieting for show? My usual day begins at 4:30 in the morning. I'll train clients from 5 o'clock until about 10, come home after that, eat. If I train them in the studio here, even better, then I don't have to travel too far. And then I can train myself between that or take care of my nutritional aspects.
Steve is an amazing trainer and a good friend, and he's good at motivating people. And I hadn't seen Steve for about 10 years, and I ran into him at a bodybuilding show, and I was dieting, and I was planning to do a show, but then I decided not to. But I had a long talk with Steve, and he motivated me to do my first show, which I came in first place and won the overall. These are a few of the competition photos, which I just placed first place in the overall. It was the Toronto Classic. These are a few photos of what I used to look like before I decided to get into bodybuilding and become healthier.
Linda Johnson, who's also Steve's girlfriend, has been training with him for almost 10 months.
So every client is different. Linda's situation was that she wanted to lose weight because she's, been a big girl all her life. And this was the very first time you ever started working out, right?
The very first time.
Very first time. So it's even better for a person like her who's never worked out before to embark on something like that, because then the body responds really favorably, because it's something that the body's not used to before. And I think that goes to show why she's gotten so much in terms of results. And how much did you weigh before that?
235.
235. How much do you weigh now?
And I'm 155.
155. So you can do the math yourself and see how much weight she's lost.
80.
Right? About 80 pounds. Right? So
But despite the dedication and commitment it takes to become a bodybuilder, there are many people who don't respect it as a legitimate sport. Many believe that these athletes rely on steroids, not natural talent.
I'll tell you something. Bottom line is, bodybuilding has gotten its bad name. I love the sport. I'm not going to talk bad about the sport. But I can tell you that just like any other sport in the world, where competition is involved, those are aspects of sport that you have to expect. But I think when you're faced with competition, then you have to think that some of those things are always going to be prevalent.
Although he's reached a high level of success, Stephen has even bigger plans for himself in the future.
My aim now is to work towards coming in as a heavyweight, because that's the only other class that I haven't really competed in, and I think I'll do very well in that. After winning the Canadians national championships and being the best man in the country, I look on to competing against the best in the world.
So now that you've heard of him, don't forget his name, because if things go according to his plans, the name Stephen Olema will soon become a household one. I'm Ajuki Ike, reporting for The Journal.
Wow, now that takes a lot of dedication. I don't think I could ever follow such a strict routine.
Oh, Sean, don't sell yourself so short. You can do anything you put your mind to, just like our next story, produced by you. It's a great story that takes a closer look into Canadian stores and what they mean to our community.
Zellers is one of Canada's largest retail stores. Unfortunately, the Zellers located in the Malva community is closing down. Let's find out why and the impact that is left on the community. What's going on, people? I'm here with Josie, one of the managers at Zellers.
Hi.
What's going on? Well, Josie, what is the reason for this store closing down?
Our lease is expired, and we don't have any room to expand. For the store to get renovation to become bigger so that we can hold and have more products. Sales are very good. We would get a lot of support from our people in the community, seniors mostly, to come in and get their medications, and our daily and weekly sales always helped us.
Okay, that's cool. So, some people say that your sales were struggling bad because of Walmart pretty much taking over. So there's no truth to that at all?
That wouldn't really impact us because, like I said, there's a lot of people around here that are seniors, so they're not able to get into a car and drive, 5-10 minutes away, as well as we have a lot of apartment buildings around us. So our clientele is pretty much people that live around us that don't have a means to get further.
For the longest time, Zellers has been like the main focus on this mall, as far as I know, growing up here. And now that it's gone, it's going to be no frills is the only thing that's left. So the mall, I think, will probably go down the drain.
What's going on, people? I'm here with Aaron, an employee at Zellers. Aaron, what do you think about the store closing down?
Well, I think it's sad that it's closing down because it's been here for 20 years almost, and a lot of customers are going to be lost without it, I guess, because they don't know where to go for the stuff to buy.
Zellers is a Canadian store. Are they making way for Walmart?
I have no clue, but probably.
I hope not.
Exactly.
Because Zellers is probably one of the last Canadian stores, institutions left around, right?
Karen Clark gives us her opinion on the importance of Canadian success.
No, I think it is important, but unfortunately it's sad. It's a challenging time. Bottom line is people go where it's cheaper. That's why everybody's flocking to the border to buy cars and things like that right now. They're going across. I heard my friend said that it was like 2 hours backed up to cross the borders because everybody can get it cheaper there now that our dollar's stronger. So unfortunately, Canadian stores have to be more competitive. There has to be something in it for the consumer aside from just supporting, Canadian economy. Bottom line is pocket.
Unfortunately, some people don't think Canadian stores are as successful as others.
I think Zellers should close.
Why should it close?
Zellers doesn't have that much to offer me in my shopping. I prefer Walmart over Zellers.
Why is that?
Walmart has more options, it's cheaper, and people are nicer.
Rona is a huge powerhouse in today's hardware sales battles, and yes, it's Canadian. I was able to interview store manager Joe Douglas and get his input on the importance of Canadian success.
I always want to buy Canadian products and shop at Canadian companies. Do I think people don't care? I don't know. I think a lot of it is people just don't know. When you think of, we've got a lot of big companies here that are American companies or wherever. They provide jobs for the community. They provide a lot of good things to help out the community, but you always have to keep in mind that the profit that company makes goes to their home country, right? So, yeah, it would be nice to see a lot more people stand up more and say, you know, Canadian companies, we need more of them and we need to keep them here. A lot of people who shop here tell me over and over that I come here because it's Canadian. Or I want to shop here because it's Canadian. I think there's a lot of companies in Canada, in Ontario, that are Canadian that don't advertise it well enough. So, you know, proudly Canadian, and we advertise that everywhere. I think it's very important.
Do you think it's important for us to stay Canadian?
Definitely. It is important for us to stay Canadian because we do have our own products that we sell that cannot be bought in America. As well, because we're Canadian, we definitely should be buying those products. We live in Canada for a reason. We should stand by that.
How much Canadian products do they actually carry?
On a percentage, I think we carry about 50%.
Percentage right now, it's just over 90%. And that's, again, that goes back to the Canadian roots of the company. This company started in Montreal, Quebec, proud to be Canadian and support Canadian. So, you know, we do have some items that we do have to get from overseas, a few things that we get from the States, but very limited. It's about 92%, which Canadian suppliers.
There you have it. There could be room for improvement in Canadian stores, but overall, looks like we have everything under control. Until next time, keep up the Canadian shopping. Peace. Next, we follow Mike Naulls as he takes us deep into the heart of Canadian dollar stores, showing the consumer that when it comes to dollar stores, you can get some bang for your bucks. Check it out.
$3.99, $2.27, $3.97, $2.99. Tell you where you can get all this stuff for a fraction of the cost. The dollar store.
Here we are at the Dollarama, where everything costs just $1. But you gotta watch out, because some places don't cost just $1.
Some supposed dollar stores trick the consumer into thinking that all of their items cost just $1. Case in point, a buck or two. They give the impression of being a dollar store, but often charge much more for their products. What you want to look for is a store that advertises that all of their items cost $1 or less. If you walk into what you think is a dollar store and they have items for more than $1, get out. There are plenty of places that do. These dollar stores have aisles lined with thousands of items for all occasions and needs. Sure, the dollar store has thousands of items, but are they any good? I decided to assemble a small panel to test the quality of these dollar store items. And what better to test than a category where quality really matters? Food.
Okay, allow me to introduce our panel. Darko and Nina.
First up is Gourmet Delight cookies with strawberry flavored filling. So panel, how do they taste? Are they dry and flavorless?
No, it's actually just the perfect cookie.
Yeah, it's perfect. It's got the perfect gooey richness of a biscuit that it should have. Fruit filling could not be better.
And how about this sweet and tasty chocolate marble cake?
It's very moist and chocolatey.
It's comparable to that of chocolate mousse cake.
How are these Cookie Shop double cream chocolate sandwich cookies? Are they just as good as double stuffed Oreos?
It's better than Oreo. It's creamier and crunchier.
You can really taste the creaminess of the cookie. And for only $1, that's what separates these from the rest of the cookies.
The panelists were enjoying the food so much, I thought I would sit down and try the dollar store brand cereal.
These really do taste exactly like Rice Krispies. Reminds me of Star Wars Attack of the Clones cereal, only without the marshmallows. Which was pretty good. I ate it for about 3 months straight. Now I'm going to test Dr. Bob's Dentel antibacterial mouthwash, comparable to Listerine or Scope. I feel cleaner. Just like Scope, doesn't have the burning sensation of Listerine. It's very on par with Scope.
Now let's review the 5 products we have tested today. The strawberry flavored cookies, the marble cake, the double cream cookies, the cereal, and the mouthwash. The strawberry cookies have a great strawberry taste and are very chewy. The marble cake is moist and melts in your mouth chocolatey. The double cream cookies are creamy, chocolatey, crunchy, and just as good as Oreos. The cereal is crunchy and has a great aftertaste. The mouthwash is refreshing with a clean taste, and it doesn't burn like Listerine. I would love to take you up and down each and every aisle of the dollar store and show you all the great deals they have to offer. But of course that would take too long, and the dollar store does not appreciate this free publicity. So they kicked me out. Well, I hope you enjoyed my short introduction to shopping at the dollar store. You now know that the dollar store has great products for a fraction of the regular cost, and you also know where to get these products and where not to. So if you'll excuse me, I'll let you shop at the dollar store while I enjoy my nice dollar store tea. Remember, stay cheap, stay happy.
Who knew you could find so many treasures at a dollar store? Do you shop there at all?
Only when I need Valentine's Day cards and some chocolate.
Ah, speaking of Valentine's, not only does the dollar store have great prices, but they also have a great quality, inexpensive gifts, which could help out with our next story. Shanita shows us that you don't have to spend a lot of money to have fun on a day. Let's take a look.
Here in Brampton on a cold fall day with Roshni Mystery. How are you today, Roshni?
I'm very well, thank you.
Great. Okay, so Roshni's here today because she's going to show us how we can wine and dine for less than $10.99. Well, okay, honestly, she's going to show you how you can have a really great date for a really cheap price. So, shall we?
Let's go.
Great.
There are many tricks and techniques nowadays to get a cheaper date. A is picking the location. Location is key. If you're making a date on the phone, make sure you don't tell where you live. Hi, is it Baljeet? Hi, Baljeet, it's Roshni calling. I'm fine, thank you. How are you? I just wanted to make a spot for tonight. Well, I live in Georgetown. You make a central meeting spot, and I'd say I live in Georgetown, but I'll centrally meet you in Brampton. I save on gas. But why don't we do something central, like Brampton? Okay, yeah, I love that Indian restaurant. Sounds good. See you. Bye. So he wants an Indian restaurant, which is perfect because they have buffets. And I know Indian restaurants don't take any form of credit card, so that's all I'm going to carry. He wears something a little low cut but not skanky, so he thinks he's going to get some. Something like this, it reveals the chest, but doesn't reveal the booty and all that until later. Cover up old evidence of other dates with foundation and makeup, and always get a friend's opinion. Now that the outfit is picked out, let's go into accessories. Lotion. Always lotion the bodies. You sisters out there, you know about lotion. This, dollar store, holla! Now, the best place to buy makeup, Dollarama. Whole makeup kit, 2 for $1. 2 for $1. So total cost of this date so far, $2. You know you're going to go for a coffee date or an ice cream date. Eat before you go. I know it sounds weird, but that way you don't feel hungry. And always offer to pay for the second date. Most cases there isn't a second date. So when you say bye to him and you say we should do this again and it's on me, he thinks he's getting the next date. But really there isn't a next date. So those are just some of the techniques. And now I'm going to go get changed for my date. And voila, I'm ready.
Hi, Shanita. How was the day?
Perfect as always. The pockets are still full.
That's great. I'm definitely going to have to try some of your dating techniques because they seem pretty interesting. Anyways, that's all for our show today. Back to you guys.
If your cheap date went smoothly, chances are they want to spend more time with you. What better way to spend the night than to hit the clubs for some dancing? Miles shows us the life of a club promoter.
With almost 3 million people in the mega city looking to unwind every weekend, it's no wonder why Toronto's Club District is a very happening and sometimes hectic place to be. Within the last 2 years, there have been a rash of violent shootings in the downtown core, leaving a number of young men dead, all under the age of 25. With all this being said, why do so many young people flock to clubs on a weekly basis? With more on this, prominent club promoter Sahab Habibi.
Toronto's club life is more the younger crowd. Yes, it is like that as well, but the older crowd, like King Street clubs, Hyde Night Club on Thursdays, Century Room Saturdays, Century Room Thursdays. It has the older crowd, and the older crowd is more posh-like.
With all the attention the media has been giving the entertainment district in the past couple of years, it comes as a surprise to no one when the city announced that they would be taking various precautions to ensure the safety of clubgoers.
So right now they put cameras downtown, and there's cameras at every intersection filming everything. And there's a lot more cops downtown, cops on horses, cops on bikes, cops on everything. So the downtown industry, I haven't heard anybody get shot.
Downtown is actually really lively, and there are a lot of clubs in the club district. So if you go down there, you're guaranteed to find fun somewhere.
Toronto's club district has gained a reputation of being one of the best places to party, not only in Canada, but the world. Now some would say it's the people who come to the clubs that make the experience memorable, which is only half the story. The other half being provided by the promoters who put their blood, sweat, and tears into what goes on behind the scenes. These activities include getting the DJs, booking VIPs, as well as A-list celebrities for us to party with. More on this, our Connect from Connect Entertainment, Sahab Habibi.
Club promoters and network and find the people to be able to bring them out on the weekend and say, listen, you work Monday to Friday, come out on a weekend, and I'll make sure what you're doing is good, and you have a great time.
Toronto's nightlife is only going to expand and get even better. However, you still have to keep your wits about things. The average club goer is going to be happily surprised once they see all the renovations that have taken place throughout the various clubs in the entertainment district. Even with all these modifications, one can't help but ask, could going downtown still be considered a perfect night out on the town?
The music clubs are live, like the girls are sexy, everyone's having a sweet time, you're just getting drunk till 5 in the morning, like it's always a sweet ass time.
And when I see all the promoters and the bartenders and everything's just doing properly, no fights, no drugs, and if you're drunk, but not fighting anybody, that's a perfect night for me when it's like that and everyone's just having a great time.
From club music to live music, it's that time in the show where we introduce our live performance. Please welcome Trevor.
Way home from the sunrise, she whispered in my ear, "Home, dear, please hold me closer. When I'm with you, I have nothing to fear. What about those unholy angels? Is everything wrong with you? Said, are you blind? Or can you just barely see? Way home from the sunrise, I whispered in her ear, girl, we're not all perfect. That's why we were put here. And hell on earth isn't just a saying, it's the divine comedy. sucker, but you must be blind, 'cause you can hardly.
Oh man, that was a great performance, man. No problem. So what made you decide to be a musician?
A couple years ago, a friend of mine suggested that I pick it up as a guitar, and then so I did, and I guess now I'm better than him. So
that's cool. What made you come up with that song, Divine Comedy?
Just came out one day. I was just fiddling around the guitar, just sort of came together, I guess.
Okay, that's cool. Who are your biggest influences?
I guess I have to say Neil Young, Bob Dylan, a lot of oldies, some new stuff, but mainly old music type stuff.
That's cool, that's cool. Once again, it was a great performance, man.
Thank you.
I hope you guys enjoyed it. Let's take it over to Hailey.
That was awesome. Keeping up with the rhythm of the show, we'd like to move from one form of art to another. I had a chance to profile a unique artist. Take a look. Art. We all hear it, see it, and buy it, but usually that's as far as we go. What about the person who makes the art? Hartley Stevenson is an artist. He always has been.
A lot of the time I like to either make someone laugh or disgust them, but usually it's making them laugh. I think a lot of puns and I like a lot of silly ideas. I have done more political things, I've done pieces about being on welfare or being on UI, they called it back then, now it's PI. And I compulsively collect things anyway, because I figure one day I'll have a use for other things. I have this 35mm film, so I've been making stuff out of that lately. My recent project that I'm just starting on is I'm making a bunch of lampshades out of film. I use a lot of masking tape, and there's the centers out of these masking tapes. And I was fooling around and trying to think what to do, and I made these balls. Oh, Full Metal Goody, yes. Sometimes it sounds like a movie soundtrack. I mean, some of the stuff we've done sounds like it should be behind a horror movie, or it sounds like you're in a forest, or things like that. And sometimes it sounds like rap. It's it's like industrial music, and sometimes it sounds like ambient, and sometimes it sounds like a movie soundtrack. I mean, some of the stuff we've done sounds like it should be behind a horror movie, or it sounds like you're in a forest, or things like that. And sometimes it sounds like rap. I've made some nice pieces and had some nice shows.
Those are some amazing artworks. Do you have any of this art with you, Hailey?
Yeah, as a matter of fact, I do. I brought you this. There you go.
Wow, interesting. That's real neat. Now, what if I were to tell you zombies are real?
Don't be silly, Sean. Zombies aren't real. And what does that have to do with my art piece?
Actually, that was just my way of introducing the last story.
Oh! Well, I still don't believe in zombies.
Well, after seeing Vladik's frightening investigation into zombie attacks and how you can protect yourself, you might actually change your mind. Let's see what he dug up.
Good afternoon. Tonight we're going to talk about the existence of real living undead. And I'm talking about zombies. And what you should do if you should ever find one gnawing on one of your limbs. That's right, zombies. They're very real, they're very dead, and if you run into one of them, they're also very hungry. First of all, we need to learn how to identify a zombie, and there are a few basic characteristics of a zombie. As you can see here, a zombie is very easy to identify. They have rotting flesh on account of their decomposing nature. They drag their feet as they walk toward you. They are incapable of running. And lastly, zombies are very inept creatures.
Yeah, it looked a little bit longer.
Oh, you look like you could use a good spanking. Now, so what should you do if you actually run into a living, breathing zombie? You gotta run away. Shoot them in the head. All valid. All very valid. But the best way to deal with zombies is this. Shoot them in the head. Not in the chest. Not in the leg, not in the arm. In the head. That's the nerve center of every zombie. If you're ever bitten by a zombie, you will die, of course. First, you will get sick. You'll become violently ill and feverish. And very slowly you will become one of them. You will become one of the undead. A zombie. A zombie. A zombie. And so, there you have it. Zombies are real, but if you should run into one of them, aim for the head. Aim for the head. Get rid of the brain, you get rid of the zombie. And you and your family will be safe.
Well, that's all the time we have for this week. From all of us here at the Journal, we'd like to thank Trevor for his performance. I'm Hailey Dunn.
And I'm Sean Boswell, and thank you for watching. Next week, we'll be taking a break, but I hope to see you the week after on the 22nd here at 4 p.m. And to send us off, here's Trevor Koroll again. Good night, guys.